Hello aspirants, welcome to the Hi-Fi of the Day, Daily Current Affairs by Alchemy IAS Institute. My name is Suhas and we are going to discuss the 5 most important topics from the news which is relevant for your UPSC preparation. Recently, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Gangaikonda Cholapuram Shiva temple. So what is the relevance of the visit and why Gangaikonda Cholapuram is important in the perspective of UPSC? The historical and cultural significance of Gangaikonda Cholapuram. First, why this name came? It is the Chola king brought the Gangai water after conquering the area till the Ganga river and brought the Ganga water and filled the Ganga tank, that holy water tank, that tank for a like Chola Gangam tank, which is a symbol of their victory. And the temple was built by the Rajendra Chola, the great Chola king, son of Rajaraja Chola, which is the movie which is mentioning about that Ponniyin Selvan, acted by Jayan Ravi. Then the temple got a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and there is another temple, Brihadeshwara temple, is there, built by the Rajaraja Chola I, and it is an imperial capital of the Chola dynasty. And about this Adi Tiruvadirai festival, this is important because in that festival there will be a Terukut performance retell the Rajendra Chola's achievement, like his naval expedition is famous, like he conquered the area till Indonesia, that it is a symbol of India's naval might during the period. So in 2025 was the marked as the 1000th year of Rajendra Chola's maritime expedition to Southeast Asia. So what are the dimensions of a Prime Minister's visit there? Prime Minister released a commemorative coin in honor of Rajendra Chola's victory, that 1000 years of naval expedition. Emperor Rajendra Chola. This is a commemorative coin. And the Chola legacy is being framed as a symbol of Hindu civilization pride and Dravidian excellence, appealing the multiple ideology narratives. The Chola Empire is used to contrast the southern political stability and cultural continuity, which was not prevalent at that time in North India, with reference to fragmented invaded North Indian during the same time. In news, it's saying that the price of coconut oil is on fire. It's increased drastically. That price increase is unprecedented, and it is around 460 rupees per kilogram, which is almost double of the earlier price. So what are the cause of this price surge? The global supply crunch is there due to El Nino induced drought in 2023-24 year in major producing countries like Indonesia, and the aging of coconut plantations reducing the yield, because that plantation is getting aged, the yield is reduced. And there is a biofuel diversion is there for a mandatory 3% blending of coconut oil with the fuel in Indonesia, and Indonesia is like restricting export also, and the supply constraints are there because of this export things. And this is actually a major insight to India's oil dependency, like cooking oil dependency. Almost 70% of our oil is depending on import oil import. So our domestic oils like the coconut oil, groundnut oil, this is often marginalized. So when there is a price hike happen on this coconut oil, this will actually getting a concern over this import dependent economy of edible oil and the fear of inflation in our domestic market. In this case, we can discuss about the three kind of products. That is, one is elastic goods. Elastic goods are whose demand changes significantly with the change of price. When the price changes, the demand getting reduced. So it have a many substitute. That reason is like it have many substitute, and often it is not necessities. Without that good also we can survive, and often luxurious goods possess this elasticity, and the consumer can delay the purchase or shift the consumption. Okay, some luxurious goods like for example, we can take a soft drink. If the soft drinks price is getting increased, we will not be buying that. Instead of that, we will be drinking water. That is an example. And inelastic good means irrespective of the price change, goods whose demand changes little even when the price changes significantly. For example, petrol, fuel. even if the price of the petrol is increasing, we will not reduce the consumption. Like it is a mandatory good. Like these are necessities and have a fewer or no substitute for this, and the consumption is not easily postponed. Another type of goods is complementary goods, like that one good can be brought or else like can be used only with another good. So that price change of one good will be resulting the demand, changing the demand of that other good. For example, petrol and car. When the petrol price increases, that concept, the sale of the cars may get decreased. That one price difference will affect the other products demand. Artificial intelligence in judgment. Recently, the Kerala High Court uh, released some guidelines for the using artificial intelligence in judicial works. So, what are the policy regarding the use of AI tools in the district judiciary? That the basic policy should be preserved, like transparency, fairness, or else like accountability, protection of confidential data. These should be ensured while you are using AI tools in judiciary. And the High Court released some guidelines on using AI in judiciary. The High Court distinguished AI type. There are general AIs and approved AIs. General AIs are like our ChatGPT, DeepSeek, these things, and approved AIs are with these AIs vetted by the High Court of Kerala or a Supreme Court. If the court is saying like these AIs are approved or can be used, then we can use. Judiciary can use. And prohibited uses in writing or drafting the judgment, orders or findings, translation without human verification, unverified legal research for citations via artificial intelligence. The reason is often AI is that result from AI will be biased, and the permitted use that permitted use are like a slightly with a slight human oversight. Administrative functions like a case scheduling, court management, and must be recorded and monitored by human. And the complaints and enforcement is mandatory training for judicial staff. Violation attract disciplinary actions, and errors must be reported to the principal district court and IT wing of the court. These are the guidelines by Kerala High Court. There is an article that the renewable energy growth will not be resulting decline in the fossil fuel use. So why it is so? The global renewable energy capacity in 2024 it is 4,442 gigawatt, and share of the renewable energy in global electricity is approximately 30%. And the global electricity demand has tripled since 1990s. That demand got tripled. And despite this growth, the fossil fuel still account for more than 70% of this electricity generation. Fossil fuel is used for electricity generation. Not only 6 to 7% of total global energy consumption come from the clean energy source. This is the status. And the renewable energies are catering to growing demands, not replacing the fossil fuels. So fossil fuels are not getting replaced, and the fossil fuel usage is still in rising in absolute term. So why it is saying that the growth in renewable energy will not decline the fossil fuel consumption? The electricity is just one part of the energy puzzle, like 30%, but 20 to 28%. So that remaining 70%, 72% is still on relied on fossil fuel. And energy translation alone is insufficient. You have to diversify. That regional imbalance is still existing. That China is actually a pioneer in that renewable energy usage, but whatever these other countries, like for example Africa, they are only using 1% of this renewable energy. And barriers to renewable adoption, there are like existing grid adopting to renewable energy is a challenge, and the multi-dimensional climate action is needed for like reducing the fossil fuel, like diversification of energy and the drastic like transformation to transfer to renewable no energy instead of fossil fuel. It There is a study says that the long-term air pollution exposure increases dementia risk. So now that air pollution is not only affecting the heart, not only affecting the lungs, now it is affecting, study says that it will affect the brain also. So air pollutant may enter the brain directly via blood stream or olfactory nerves. So that pollutions like PM 2.5, nitrous oxide, NOx, and soot, these pollutions, and they can cause oxidative stress and neuroinflammations in the brain, and these are established biological triggers in onset of the progression of dementia. So what are the broader public health significance? The dementia burden in 2021, 57 millions of global cases, and projected in 2050 that 15 million cases are there, and air pollution exposure is 99% of the global population breathes air exceeds the WHO limit, and low and middle income countries faces the highest risk. So the health impact pollution is multi-system, not just lungs and heart, but also brain. Finally, current affairs drill question of the day. Consider the following statement regarding the nature of demand for goods. Elastic goods are typically necessities with a few substitute, and their demand changes very little with the price. Inelastic goods show significant change in demand when prices changes, and complementary goods are consumed together, and a price increase in one may reduce the demand for the other. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? The options are given here. Comment your right answer below the comment section.